of 15. So how can I show that with fractions? If I take 5 out of 5, that's my whole. That's like 100%. But how do I figure out where to put the rest of it? Like I could ballpark it. I could kind of try to just equally space them. How did I do? Not well. What do you think? Help me out here. Well, wait a minute. What if I split 15 into 5 parts? So that's 3. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And then I count by 3s. 1 fifth, 2 fifths, 3 fifths, 4 fifths, 5 fifths. Right? So now I split 15 up into 5 equal parts. Does that make sense? Tariq, you look like you don't like this. You're good? What do you think? So what's 1/5? 3? 1/5 is 1/5 of 15 is 3. So 2 fifths is 6. I mean, you can see it here. But think about it. This is a different way of thinking about fractions. If 1/5 is 3, and I take 2 of those, I've got like 2 3s, right? I've got 6. That's what you were going to say? Oh, nice. I should have let you say it. So what's the other way that we could solve this with, let's say, a calculator? What does of mean in mathematics often? Say again? Times, right? We multiply. So this is like 2 over 5 times 15. And what is 2 fifths? What is 2 over 5? Emma? 2 divided by 5. Get your calculator out. 2 divided by 5 times 15. Damien, what'd you get? I thought you were doing it. 2 divided by 5 times 15.
Oh, I got something.
6, 6, 6.
I got 2,000.
3/4 of 44. So our number line doesn't go up to 44. Let me draw it. There's 0. There's 44. If I split it in half, what do I get? So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? There's my quarters. I get 22. If I split that in half, what do I get? 11. So there's 1/4. Oops. This should be here. There's 2/4. What would 3/4 be? Just turn your ringer off, please. Does that make sense? How do we do it with our calculator? We do 3 divided by 4 times 44. Do that on your calculator as well. Let everybody else do it too, please. 33, good. Okay, try C on your own. Yes? Go. Noah, can you do this one for us? Did you do it already?
No, I did not.
How would I do this one? So hold on. I don't want to surprise you with the question. We're doing this one right. Do it the same way. This was 3 divided by 4 times 44. Can you tell me what to do for this one and then do it on your calculator?
7 divided by
Noah, thank you. 7 divided by 8, you weren't finished. Guys, it's rude to interrupt.
times 8,000.
Calculator, come on, get your calculator out. I want to see you do it. Emma, what'd you get? Elena, can you pass that back to Tony? 2,605? 25. Exactly? No decimals, no rounding or anything like that? Awesome. Is that what you got? That's what you guys got? Easy enough? So what would happen? What would happen if I did 2625 over 3,000? What is that? No, I don't want to know a decimal answer. I want you to tell me something about it. And I want you to think, so just relax for a minute, but like think about it. Where is 2625 on that number line? In the middle of what? Everybody should be looking up here. You should not be working ahead, folks. That's not what we're doing. Come on. We're thinking about this. How does this diagram help us with this question over here? 2625 over 3,000. What does that mean? Where do you put it?
You see right between the 250 and 3,000. But it's like a bit over half.
A bit over half. Why over half?
250 plus 250 equals 3,000.
A little bit more. Good. I like that. Who else had something to say? Vivanja, what were you going to say? And more than 500, yep. 2625 is 7/5 of 3,000. Here is 7/5. Sorry, 7/5, 7/8. Yep, 5 on my brain, I guess. 7/8. That's 7/8. So shouldn't it be exactly the same? 7/8. Like that's what a fraction is. You cut it equally into 8 parts and you have 7 of them. So when I match up those two number lines, up to 8 and up to 3,000, they should match. So if the 7 is exactly halfway between the 6 and the 8, 2625 will be exactly halfway. 2625 over 3,000 is the same as 7 over 8. That's what it means to be 7/8. You did it on your calculator? Everybody have their calculator out? Your calculator give you, yeah, get your calculator out, get it ready. Your calculator give you decimal answers? So do 2625 divided by 3,000. Everybody do it, good, yeah. Everybody do it. 2625 divided by, yep, go ahead. 2625 divided by 3,000. Everybody's done it. Say it again. 0.875. Now do 7 divided by 8 on your calculator. Same thing. What do you think equivalent fractions means? That's what it means, to be 7/8 of something. This is what it means to be 2/5 of 15. You're 2/5 of the way to 15, or you're 2/5 of the way to 5. What would that be in percentages? Can somebody divide 100 into 5 equal parts? 20. So 1/5 of 100 is 20. So 2/5 of 100 is 40. 2/5 is like 40%, is like 6 out of 15. It's all the same thing. Now, I hope visualizing helps you understand it. You also want to be able to do the math. Somebody do 2 divided by 5, or everybody do 2 divided by 5 on their calculator. 0.4, isn't that 40%? Now do 6 divided by 15 on your calculator. What do you think you're going to get? 0.4, 40%. Same number. Okay, let's try a problem here. What do we have to do? Don't tell me the mechanics. Don't tell me the operation. Tell me in words. A rope is 220 centimeters long, and you cut off 3/8 of the rope. What length did you cut off? What do we find? Don't tell me the operations. Not yet. What do we have to find? Yep, good. Julian, what were you going to say?
How much he cuts off for 1/8?
So if we could find 1/8 and then he's cut 3 of those off, that's a neat way of thinking about it.
How much is
We're going to figure that out too as well, yeah. If I want to phrase this like the questions up here, I'm going to find 3/8 of 220, right? Do you agree? 3/8 of 220, because that's what was cut off. So Emma, what's the operation? Very nice, which is 3/8 of 220. And what is it? Is that what you got? 82.5? Nice. 82.5 centimeters. Therefore, 82.5 centimeters were cut off. What length remains? Cool. Well, I don't want the answer. How do you get it? So 220 minus 82.5. Does everybody see how that would get us the answer? So, what is it? 137.5. Can anybody think of another way we could have found that? Okay, good. So that's for the part A. So you actually turned it in. You found out what an eighth was, and then you knew you had 3 of them. Very nice. What else?
You could get what 1/8 is, and then you can times it by.
For part B. Why would you do that? Why 5?
Because that's how much it.
So if this is 3/8 that you cut off, how much remains? 5/8. Very good. I heard somebody say that. 5/8. So could I find 5/8 of 220? Can you do that on your calculator? Try that right now. Nice. Well, how'd you do it? Like, what'd you type into your calculator? 5 divided by 8 times 220. Gives you 137.5. Confirms our answer. And it better. If 3/8 are gone, 5/8 are left. Okay, let's try the next one. If you think you can start now. Elaine and Sam each bought a 250 milliliter bottle of maple syrup. That's a pretty small bottle. Elaine has used 1/5 of her bottle. Sam has used 30% of his bottle. How much more has Sam used than Elaine? Show your work. Before we go on, let's talk about what it's asking us to do. Like, you got to develop a plan of how you're going to solve this. What are your steps going to be? Can somebody tell me something about this question, what we might start with, what we might try? Damien, do you have any ideas? Hold on. So they each have 250 milliliter bottle. Elaine used 1/5 of the bottle. Sam used 30% of the bottle. Damien, what do you think? Like, what's one thing that we might do to solve this problem? You don't have to do the whole thing. What jumps out at you? Huh? So what do you want to find? Nice. We are going to have to turn 30% into decimal. I love it. Tariq. Okay, good. We could turn 30% into a fraction. Nice. Kind of like a decimal. Yeah. What else could we do? Lauren, do you have an idea? You're working away over there. Oh. What do you think? So I'm going to stop you. Hold on, because I want everybody thinking about this. I know I'm picking on some of you. I want everybody to think about this. What did we do up here? See how I turned the question into that statement. 3/8 of 220. Can anybody do that here for me? Emma? Hold on. So this is 1/5 of 250. Good. Somebody else help me with the next part. Caleb? Come on. This was 1/5 of 250. How do I do this one? So Sam used 30%. Julian, you want help? We're just planning out our attack right now, basically.
Oh, so you'd want to convert that into decimal?
Yeah, we are going to want to do that, but why? Why? I'm asking a specific question here, so your answers aren't wrong. It's just not what I'm looking for. 1/5 of 250. What else do we want to find? %, of 250, right? Maybe some of you were thinking that's obvious, so that's not what he's asking. I don't know, but isn't that what we did that yesterday and the day before? Percentages of things. How do I find that? Damien already started us out. We took 30% to a decimal. What do we do with it after we turn it into a decimal? Do you remember? So there's part of our problem solving already done. 30% to a decimal, multiply it by 250. Awesome. We just did fractions. We know how to do that one. Then we get two numbers. We have to think about what those two numbers are, right? Okay, let's get started on some of the work. Folks, tests and EQAO, and then in life, if you're ever, maybe it's not math, but anything that your boss is going to look at, a big part is communication. So we want to start thinking about how we're going to communicate our answer as well. So this is what I'm going to do really easily. I'm going to do Elaine. What do I do for Elaine? Somebody help me out here. She's 1/5 of 250. So what do, Emma?
1/5 times 200 is
And how do I do 1/5?
1 divided by 5.
Nice. 1 divided by 5 and then times 250. Did you do that already? What is that? 50. And that is what, milliliters, I believe, right? Okay, and then Sam. Whoops. So Damien, remind me what I do here? Yeah, 30% of 250. How do I turn 30% to a decimal? Anybody done that yet? Do you know what that is? 75. Is that what you got, Emma? Milliliters. What do you notice that's the same about those two lines? Yep. What else? What do you mean by doing the same thing? Can you elaborate on that? Can you elaborate on that? Like, describe it a little bit more. Okay, awesome. If I ignore these two numbers, something divided by something times 250. Something divided by something times 250. See how they're the same? Percentages are just a special kind of fraction that are out of 100. 30 out of 100. 1 out of 5. That's what 1/5 of means. It's the same thing. Okay. So how much more has Sam used than Elaine? What's my last step here? Nice. So the difference is 75 minus 50, which is 25. Therefore, Sam used 25 milliliters more than Elaine. How do we feel about that? Yeah. Any questions? Okay, I want you to try this one. You can get started on it on your own.